I'm Demond Simeon, aka DR Sim, owner and player of the Houston Hyenas. I am 38 years old.
I'm Liam Prasser, I'm 24 years old and I'm from Hastings, East Sussex in the United Kingdom.
I'm Dwayne Schindler. I'm 50 years old. I live in Delray Beach, Florida.
I am Jack Brown. I am age 16 and I'm from Metro Detroit, Michigan.
I'm so Swepian and Merced. I'm 24 from Miami, Florida.
So I'm Matt Wilson. I'm from around Rochester, New York. I'm 37 years old.
Bringing people together through any sort of media or medium is important because it allows us to connect with people that we wouldn't have met before.
To be honest with you, I think they're going to take over the NFL. I seriously think it.
I played defense in high school, so I actually played linebacker when I played football, so it's cool for me to kind of be on the defensive side of things again and, being able to play linebacker again.
I played all the way up to Division III football, so I know football. I love football. So for me to come here and do this, it makes sense. But the SFL is so much more than just football, guys.
It feels to the fans like you're watching a real game on TV.
You have control of your player. If you think your player needs to have better hands, you can make that adjustment. You think your player should work on speed or be a power runner, okay, you can make that adjustment. And that's something that you can do with fantasy football because in real life, you're just going by how they perform. So if they have a bad day, then there's nothing you can do about it.
To strategize against these guys is very difficult. All the things that transpire from week to week can change instantly.
SFL as a whole has been my outlet since I had stopped coaching 3.5 years ago.
It's really been an awesome platform for people to kind of say, hey, this is how the world sees me. Let me reinvent myself. Let me gain confidence in the digital world. And I think the SFL's really helped people grow outside of the league.
To be in my own element with people that basically have the same mindset as I do, at least in this arena. We all want to win, but we're all respectful to each other, even in competition, rare these days. To me, that's awesome.
This is an avenue for anybody, and that's what's amazing about this product.
We make good football people, but beyond that, we just help people become the good people that they already are.
Just loving every minute of being in the SFL.
Tonight in chilly Sioux Falls, South Dakota, it's the Darlings from the Western Conference, the Las Vegas Fury, making their first playoff appearance against the Sioux Falls Sparrows, the playoff regular. They haven't met since week 2, and both teams have championship aspirations. It's the second game of a Twitch front page Wild Card Wednesday doubleheader, live from Sioux Falls. And it starts right now. Welcome to Liberty Park with Mark Lopez on stats, Stephen Mullinex, our analyst. I am Cameron Irvine. How you doing, Stephen?
I'm Greg Cam, SFL playoff action. This is why you lift all those weights. This is why you do all those two-a-days and go through the rigorous regular season for this moment. Let's start with the home team. The Sioux Falls Sparrows have been the bridesmaids of the SFL ever since entering the league back in Season 6. In that span, they've only missed the playoffs once and have never posted a regular season record under 500. Unfortunately for the Sparrows, they didn't get their first postseason victory until Season 10. Can the Sparrows build on their lone playoff success from last season to finally make it to the championship game? And for the Las Vegas Fury, this is a team that lost to the Sparrows right here in Liberty Park back in week 2, 31-14, but the score at halftime was 3-0. And this is a very different Vegas squad, having won a whopping 5 of the last 6 games. They enter their first playoff matchup in franchise history with a 7-5 record, Cam. But for four of those losses came at the hands of 2 former SFL champions.
The ball's on the tee for Matt Rage and the Fury, and that means it's time to hashtag kick it. We're underway. from the 1-yard line. Deep kick from Rage. A.J. Levy on the return, makes a man miss, and then there you see Merrick Atera, who's now playing special teams for Vegas as well as their number 1 corner. He is in assisting on the tackle, and Julian Tyree in Sioux Falls will start from their 24-yard line.
Cam, this Sparrows scoring offense ranked 16th this season, averaging 21 points a game here. They're going to need something special from that man under center, Julian Tyree, tonight.
1st and 10 from the 24. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. Tyree's going to start with a screen out to Hart. Colin Hart's got some blockers. Hart's got a first down out to the 36-yard line. And Stephen Sioux Falls loves to throw to Hart out of the backfield. He's a tremendous receiver.
64 receptions, 275 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This is a guy that they found in the 2nd round, Cam. This rookie has been electric for the Sparrows this season. Expect to see a lot of number 22 tonight.
So 1st down and 10 at the 36 out of the I formation with 4 down linemen and back to pass. Over to Hart again. And Hart picks up 4 as Vegas was stacking the box that time.
Hart ended this regular season 2nd in rushing touchdowns with 20, 4th in rushing yards, 1,683 coming into this ball game. A double threat out of the backfield. Can be a receiver, can be a blocker, can obviously be a rusher. A terrific talent.
Again, stacking the box is Vegas with a tight end off the line. Now short throw, nearly intercepted as Boyka got in front of that route. And an excellent job on the outside looking for the fullback, Ashley Anderson.
Yeah, despite that near turnover, the Sparrows offense is pretty good when it comes to turnovers offensively. Only 18th in the league. That's tied for 4th lowest.
All right, 3rd down and 6 from the 40. Empty backfield for Julian Tyree as Sioux Falls tries to keep this opening possession alive. And Tyree drops to throw against just a 3-man rush. Flat zone and running right through it. That's a 1st down completion to Craig Hearn. What an excellent play call for Sioux Falls. They keep the chains moving.
Wow, you're right about that. Several receivers open in the middle of the field. Those slant routes, kind of a medium post route there, and just had air all day to throw it and all different kind of open receivers.
3 of 4 for 31 yards to start for Tyree. Tyree going to be sacked. Nobody home there as he was trying to set up the screen, but not fast enough. Andrew Scott gets in the backfield, and that's the first pressure from Vegas's defensive front.
Yeah, you have to at least act like you're going to block there on the screen there. We just saw the offensive lineman just totally not even get a chip block on any of those inside defenders, and it was just a track meet to the quarterback.
2nd and 16 at the 49-yard line. 8:52 to go in the 1st quarter. Tyree going to throw against a late blitz and nearly a sack and then nearly an interception as Tyree, I don't know where he was throwing that to. Anthony Wyo knocks it away, and let's meet the rest of the Sioux Falls Sparrows offense prior to 3rd and 16. Julian Tyree is the quarterback, 6th season, 6 foot 215. Wide receivers on the outside, number 11, Sean Harrelson, number 15, A.J. Warren, and number 87, Riley Porter. The tight end, number 88, Craig Hearn, who had that catch on the last 3rd down, Mr. Irrelevant from this past draft. 8:48 to go in the 1st. Tyree to throw on 3rd and long. Tyree steps to the pocket, fires it down the field, and way overthrew it. And the official says, I'm sorry, I could have caught it, but that would be illegal. Levant Irvine applying some pressure, and Max Moholt will come out to punt it away for Sioux Falls.
Well, that was all about making the quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. Had to step up and throw on the run, not something Tyree is really good at. A boom or bust candidate is Tyree, so you just never know what you're going to get out of him.
8:44 to go. And Dime Peace said in the chat, are these guys for real calling a simulated match? And my response is water wet, you bet. That is exactly what's happening here as Max Jackson returns up to the 17-yard line. If you're wondering exactly what you're watching out there tonight, if you're watching for the first time, please let us know. We'll give you a shout out in the chat. Simulation Football League is the first controllerless esport in the world. Team coaching staffs are our competitive gamers, submitting strategic game plans against opponents before the AI carries out the results of play-by-play and analysis on all broadcasts. You can go from the chat to the field to enter the draft which is right around the corner in November. Thomas Rahman, the third pick in the last draft, nearly had a completion to the outside pass intended for Raymond Tango, but that's incomplete.
Cam, this Las Vegas team is a dangerous team because they are an unknown quantity. And you know, tonight we're going to find out the answer. Are the Fury a one-hit wonder who are able to get into the postseason here in their inaugural season here in the SFL? Or are they just the next SFL dynasty? We'll find out tonight.
3 receivers now, and Robert Redford in the backfield. Robert Redford is a point of emphasis tonight as he takes the handoff and gets nothing. Stephen, these two teams are top 5 run defenses and offenses, but Robert Redford is the story of tonight.
Yeah, that's true. Redford used to play for the Sparrows team last season. Now he switched over to the Fury. You think he wants a little payback and to show up his former team? You bet.
3rd down and 10 now for Vegas. They've yet to gain a yard after their defense got a stop. Rahman is going to be sacked. A double team takedown at the 11-yard line. And getting his way in there for the most part, that was Tyrone Black. 4th down.
Well, the last time these two teams met, Rahman, the quarterback there, had 4 interceptions. You know, he's going to need a clean pocket. If he's going to have a clean game tonight, that's not a good sign going 3 and out on their first offensive series.
We welcome you into SFL headquarters, the Cam. Hi, everybody out there on the Twitch front page. Certainly excited to be back in the playoffs here as you see a number of fantastic pieces of merchandise that we'll be auctioning off for charities at a later date. Met some great people in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Fury nice enough to host us for the Esports Business Summit, and we're very excited about the future around here at the SFL as Sioux Falls will start this drive with a 3-back set, 1st and 10 from midfield. 7:24 to go, handoff to Colin Hart, his first carry, and Hart picks up just a yard.
Well, excellent field position provided by the Sparrows defense. Now the offense needs to take advantage of it. 15 yards away from field goal range. Need to put something on the board here if you're the Sparrows at home.
2nd down and 9 at the 48-yard line. Tyree an early 3 of 6. And he'll throw after the 1-yard gain from Hart. Deep ball down the field. It's almost intercepted by Max Jackson. Fantastic coverage. Craig Hearn was the intended receiver. His first miss on a target. And Max Jackson, who has been playing like an MVP over the last month of the season, Stephen, has been one of the big reasons for Vegas's fuel into the postseason.
That Max Jackson's a bad man. 98 tackles, 9 interceptions on the season. He's also got 4, count them, 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns. Talented man.
3rd down and 9, 6:51 to go in the first. Scoreless game. Tyree over the middle. Caught. First down to the 36-yard line. Irvine on the tackle. And that pass is that Riley Porter, I believe, with a reception. 1st down, Sioux Falls.
And again, Sioux Falls finding success in the middle, that middle of the field, middle to deep. That's a point of emphasis that we want to be watching very carefully tonight to see if Sioux Falls has maybe found a glitch in Vegas's defensive game plan.
1st down and 10 at the Fury 36-yard line, no score, 6:20 to go in the first quarter. The 8-9 matchup in the SFL wild card. Tyree's got a good pocket, checks it down to Anderson. Anderson's first reception picks up 4, another tackle for Levant Irvine.
And Cam, this is starting to go Sioux Falls' way here. I mean, obviously they're at home. They've earned that playoff right to play at home through their play in the regular season. But you hadn't really felt like they had the momentum until this point. Let's see if they can cash in on it.
2nd and 6 at the Fury 32. No score here on the Twitch front page. Happy to have all of you along for the ride as Tyree was originally looking for the screen, and then he just sailed that out of bounds. Where is the grounding call? Stephen, there was nobody out there.
Yeah, that's about to look like 10 to 15 yards out of bounds. I am amazed that we didn't see a flag there. Obviously, Tyree, that's a smart play by Tyree in the sense that he doesn't want to take a sack, didn't see anyone open, but you got to get out of the pocket or that's intentional grounding.
100 bits from Ron Cochran, and Mr. 23 is leading our bit leaderboards tonight with 3,000. If you want to try to top him, the SFL would sure appreciate your support. 3rd down and 6 from Tyree, going middle again. Caught by Harrelson, makes a man miss. Harrelson dragging defenders down to the 10-yard line, near a 1st and goal. What a play by Harrelson after the catch.
Well, when they've needed a big play, they've looked to the middle of the field, and Tyree has found something there. Harrelson, 64 receptions, 700 yards, only 2 touchdowns this season. But again, that we talked about, Uncle Mo, that momentum. You're starting to feel that building up here in Liberty Park, and boy, the crowd is starting to rise.
Out of the I formation. This looks like it's going hard again, but again it's covered, and Tyree is sacked, a loss of 6 yards. Mike Fats Johnson, the former member of the Tallahassee Pride, trying to get back into the championship game, makes the play. And right now, Las Vegas has Sioux Falls' number just a bit on that screen game.
Don't forget, Fats Johnson, formerly of Tennessee, was in the championship game just last season, came over to Fury to provide them a little veteran leadership. 14.5 sacks on the season. You've got to know that if you're Tyree, you've got to get rid of that ball quicker because Fats is coming.
2nd down and goal at the 16-yard line. 5:02 to go in the first quarter. 4 wide receivers out of the shotgun. Dime 3-2 look. And Tyree again is pressured. Throws left side, incomplete. Wyo on the coverage. 3rd and long coming up here. And actually, originally they marked him 1st and 10 from the 10. Now they are saying it's a goal-to-go situation.
Well, trying to throw it through a keyhole there was Tyree. Had 2 men covering that receiver out there on the short out route. Just would expect maybe a little bit better vision from your veteran quarterback. Here's a big 3rd and goal.
Now 4 receivers, 3 to the bottom of the screen, short side right. Tyree going to throw against a 4-man rush. Tyree gets his legs taken out from under him. That's another sack for Las Vegas. They're all over the Sparrow quarterback, Harley Stone, with the takedown.
Well, that's just about moving in the pocket and Tyree just moving in the wrong direction and allowing a defender to really clip his legs from underneath them. You got to like the fact they moved the ball there just a little bit. You just can't like how it ended.
The Grinch in a hat. Love the username in the chat room. Love these creative pieces, especially ones I can pronounce too. You all know my struggles with that. 38-yard field goal for Sammy Prefontaine. That's good, and Sioux Falls is on the board tonight, 3-0 over Las Vegas. Let's pause for a moment for a word from the SFL.
The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music and is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com today and search through thousands of tracks to boost the quality of your stream just like us.
Jackson from the 11.
APM Music, production music library and custom music house.
Jackson nearly broke it. 1 man away out to the 37-yard line. Steven mentioned it earlier. 4 kickoff return touchdowns this season with Mark Lopez on stats. I am Cameron Irvine. He is Stephen Mullinex here on the Twitch front page.
Yeah, always dangerous to go to commercial break when Max Jackson's going to return that ball. Number 2 in the SFL on kick return yards per return, 27.2. Shows you right there why.
1st and 10 at the 37. Back to pass is Thomas Rahman. Rahman pump fake. Look at the pocket. Now it's breaking down. Thomas Rahman sacked for a loss of 6 yards. Oh, he had tons of time. That's definitely a coverage sack out there for the Sparrows. And both defensive lines are doing work tonight.
Well, I'm surprised by the play calls by both of these offensive coordinators. As we said, coming in, these are 2 top 5 rushing offenses. They're not known for their passing game, specifically the Fury, dead last in the league, only averaging 185 yards through the air per game. Here, just as you can see why, just nobody could get open, and he got sacked.
2nd and 16 out of the I. Now Rahman forced to throw against a blitz. Rahman just swatted away. How disrespectful from Osika. He just didn't even want it.
Well, Osika's been in this league a long time. Yeah, you would rather maybe he just knows that he has butterfingers for hands and doesn't want to take the chance of maybe just tipping it into the receiver's hands. So he just used the volleyball technique and just flopped it down.
That's what they call knowing your limitations, right, Steve?
I wish I knew mine.
It's just like, I know my limitations. I should not be full screen. I should just be down there in the corner. Everybody from SFL HQ. And from Sioux Falls tonight, 37-degree night. Thomas Rahman is thrown down again! And I don't know which defensive line is having a more successful game to this point, Steven. This has been a tremendous showing by both defenses.
Well, I think the really coverage sacks that we've seen here earlier, there's no one getting open, especially for the Fury here on the last couple of plays. And Rahman's desperately looking down the field, maneuvering in the pocket, trying to find someone who can get some kind of separation, but none of his receivers can, and they suffered for it here in another long field.
By the way, Alex Parker getting a sack for Sioux Falls. Vegas has 4 sacks, Sioux Falls 2 in the first 8 minutes of this ball game as A.J. Levy took a punishing hit from the 35-yard line. And another good punt. Las Vegas has a stellar special teams game, and they showed it there.
Yeah, now let's turn our eyes and our attentions back to the Sparrows offense. Last series were able to really move the ball and make some critical plays on third down, but couldn't cash in the red zone. Let's see if they have any better luck here.
2:57 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Sioux Falls. Back to passes Tyree. Tyree with a diving player, just throwing his body at him. And then Jack Burton was in coverage, pass intended for A.J. Warren. That was, if Damon Simeon was in the booth with us tonight, he definitely would have been commenting on that flying man.
Well, I think the basis of it, Cam, is neither quarterback looks any way, shape, or form comfortable tonight. And both of them playing with happy feet, both of them seeing ghost a little bit, and that's just causing the ball to come out a little bit too quickly, especially on that play.
2nd and 10 at the 35. Both offenses struggling here in the first quarter. Tyree, more pressure. Julian Tyree goes down again. And if you love defensive games, this one, these defensive lines are putting on a show. Fats Johnson with his 2nd sack.
Well, it's a combined. It's a building problem, Cam. That it's just like it just builds on itself after sack after sack after sack, and suddenly your quarterback shell shocked.
3rd and 16, and Tyree on a check down. That doesn't work out as Colin Hart, a rare drop, and the pressure that Vegas's defense is putting on the Sparrows offense is certainly getting into him right now, and want to give shout-outs to that Fury defense. Of course, all real user players out there on the field tonight. Cornerback Merrick Atera on the outside, number 39. Free safety and strong safety, respectively. 35, Anthony Wayo. 37, Max Jackson, the unquestioned leader of this defense. On the defensive front, it's Mike Fats Johnson, number 98, and then Levant Irvine anchors the middle, number 99, and Vegas's defense holding up to the task here so far from the 37-yard line. Want to give some shout-outs. Hey, I saw you, Gert Gork. I told you I was going to give it to you, and I saw you. Thanks for sticking around. Realist since Kumbaya 24, Vancouver Legion, DR Sim 80, Robert Redford 28. He's on the field tonight. Behavior HS, Biz Woofer, Departure Exist, The Dead Knight 57, PG Totoki. I tried. Fish Fry 443. Saw your compliments earlier as well. Thank you, buddy. 1st and 10 from the 37. We're rolling along here. 13:35 strong on the front page, and Thomas Rahman's pass is going to be caught for a first down of the 45 on his first completion of the night as Brett Funk gets up and has some words with Chris Dodd.
Well, you can just see the difference there, Cam. Just really confident in the pocket, drops back, goes through his progression, finds his man. Looks like he's really eyeing a single guy right there and delivers a nice football for the near 20-yard gain.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line with 1:55 to go in the first quarter. Mr. 23 says, "Notice me, Cam." It was in all caps, so I figured I'd have to yell. 1:48 to go in the first as Rahman drops back to pass. Rahman going deep, and the pass is tipped up and incomplete. 2nd and 10, John Blades, the intended receiver.
Yeah, on the corner route there, just a nice job by the defender to get in front of it. But you can feel now they're starting to attack this defense deep, and I think it was the case maybe on both sides of the offense, both offenses, a little bit of the playoff jitters, Cam. Surely for the Fury, as this is their first postseason game in their franchise history.
Out of the eye, Rahman straight back. Rahman hit as he threw, finds an outlet receiver, and that is Robert Redford, who, Steven, he hasn't gotten a carry. I mean, this is unbelievable. Or maybe he had one carry for 0 yards. I don't remember, but Las Vegas approaching this very differently than their first matchup with Sioux Falls.
Yeah, and Redford's a guy who's number 5 in rushing yardage, just over 1,500 yards on the season. Number 5 in rushing touchdowns with 13. So a viable threat out of the backfield, really utilizing their passing game more, which is surprising.
3rd down and 1 at the 36. Handoff to Redford, and that may be why. Redford loses 3 and falls outside of Matt Rage's field goal range, and that'll force a 4th down.
Yeah, just unfortunate, Cam, here. You don't expect that your running game's actually going to lose you yardage. You're right on that threshold of a 51, 52-yarder. You've got a kicker, like you mentioned, in Matt Rage, who's a perfect 25 of 25 on the season, 100% field goal percentage, and you can't get him on the field because you took a loss.
So McRack punts it away, and that's not his best effort. That bounces into the end zone, ball at the 20-yard line. Hey, if you're new to the SFL, make sure to follow us Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. It's all Simulation FL. That's called protecting your brand. Hashtag loading legends. Hashtag SFL playoffs will give you a retweet tonight if you use that on Twitter. 51.
Sparrow's offense can. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
Please, by all means.
Sparrow's offense coming back onto the field after that 3 and out. Let's see if they can move the ball a little bit cleaner here.
They'll try a pass out to Hart, and Hart's going to get dragged down. That has not been effective since the first couple of plays. Vegas all over the flats. 2nd down and 11 coming up. 1,278 of you on the Twitch front page tonight.
Excellent open field tackle by outside linebacker Chuck Warsaw there. We don't see many people go one-on-one with Colin Hart and are able to bring him down.
2nd and 11 at the 19. Back to pass. Tyree into traffic, and there was about 4 different Fury defenders there. Levant Irvine got his paws on it. He's having a stellar first quarter.
Yeah, just a little bit more patience from Tyree there. I think if he would just held it for just a half second longer, his receiver would have been open. Just rushed it there. Surely a symptom of him just being hit and hurried so much tonight.
Vegas now in the 3-2 dime, but look at them all crouching up to the line of scrimmage there. 3rd and long for Sioux Falls, trying to get some momentum. They're up 3-0 at home. Tyree against a 4-man rush. Johnson got loose, pass caught, but a great open field tackle by Jack Burton keeps A.J. Warren from moving the chains. A pickup of 11, but not enough. 4th and 2. That'll likely be the final play of the first quarter. And it is. That's the end of quarter 1. We're back in a moment after a quick word from our sponsors. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Twitch front page tonight. The Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, is brought to you by Media Tech Institute, Matt Doyle Designs, Richards Printworks, the official shop provider of the Simulation Football League, merchandise provider, ScoreStream, the official scoring app of the SFL. Download the ScoreStream app today. Show Business Studios, APM Music, many others, SpyGoat as well. And you see some photos from our first ever SFL convention. That was so much fun. Steven, his Media Tech was had a big helping hand in that, as Mulholtz will punt it away on 4th down to start the quarter.
Yeah, some friendships forged for life there at the convention. Can't wait for the next one. Maybe some of the guys that are in the chat right now will actually get a chance to meet face-to-face and form some friendships with them.
So from the 30, Max Jackson up to the 36-yard line. I want to give some love to Behavior HS, who's been super kind to us in the chat tonight. I'm so glad this was on the front page tonight. We are as well. PJ Totoki says, where can you get the sweet merch? Richards Printworks. You can find him at James Richards on Discord. He'll be able to hook you up. However, Matt Doyle Design is going to be doing some brand refreshings for all these teams, and his stuff is going to look oh so sweet on merchandise. A lot of those looks being unveiled at halftime of the championship game, which we also hope will be on the Twitch front page Monday, October 29th. Thomas Rahman gets away from pressure and throws it away as pressure continues to be the theme of the night. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Well, I think these defensive coordinators have realized there's not going to be a lot of running in this game, and they have really pinned the ears backs of these defenders, and they're coming after these quarterbacks, making them very uncomfortable. Rahman, they're lucky to get out of that mess and throw it out of bounds.
Mark Lopez on stats. Stephen Mullinex and Cameron Irvine with you here in Sioux Falls. And Thomas Rahman into a crowd. That's incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Andrew Nyberg knocks it away, and that gives us our perfect opportunity to meet the Sioux Falls Sparrows defense. This is a veteran group. Cornerbacks on the outside, Jay Ringgold and Andrew Nyberg. They're the lone rookies of this group. Second-round picks this past rookie draft, 35th and 40th. A.J. Levy, 6 seasons, all with Sioux Falls. The strong safety, number 42. Chris Dodd, free safety in his 3rd season, wears number 49. Alex Parker and Nick Fargo, the linebackers, 91 and 92 respectively, as Rahman steps up in the pocket. Rahman going to air it out deep, and Thomas Rahman's pass intercepted off the deflection by A.J. Levy. What a play by the veteran.
Well, you mentioned it, Cam. Levy and Dodd, probably the best safety combo here in the SFL. And Levy, a longtime veteran leader of this defense, comes away with his 6th interception of the season.
Live stats tonight brought to you by Mark Lopez, a live statistician for the SFL. You can join our live stats team, broadcast team, beat writing team, anything you want. We give you the opportunity to shine here in the SFL. Colin Hart breaks a tackle. Colin Hart still going. 50-45. Hart all the way to the 40-yard line. Before that run, we had -1 rushing yards in this ball game, and Hart eliminates that.
Well, Cam, you said looking for opportunity to shine, and there's Hart's opportunity there with a nice shoulder charge. Look, this is a guy that often looks to square up on one-on-one targets. He's got that power to push the pile when he needs it, and he will impose his will if you give him an opportunity to.
Katunica with 200 bits. Appreciate your support of the SFL. It's 3-0 Sioux Falls in a very entertaining second game of our Wild Card Wednesday doubleheader. Tyree, deep drop back all day. Tyree's pass incomplete, and then a late flag, and I did not see where it was thrown. This could be an interesting call.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Tyree was seeing there. Let's see what the official says here.
Holding on the defense. That holding was on, get you a number, that was
21.
Yuri Boyka at corner. Don't see that too often.
No, and you know what? I don't think he needed to do that. There was a defender that was just simply standing back there right where the pass was thrown. So to hold the wide receiver, maybe it caused Tyree not to lead the pass as much, but should have been thrown anyway.
1st and 10 at the 35. 9:57 to go in the first half as Julian Tyree steps up in the pocket, now fires down the middle of the field, and nobody was open. Pass intended for Riley Porter, his first target of the night, and brings up 2nd down and 10 as the defenses continue their reign.
Yeah, it seemed like the defender there in the secondary ran the route better than the wide receiver, Cam, and was prepared to undercut that, and maybe Tyree at the last second noticed that and then threw it just a little bit over so that no one would catch it.
2nd and 10 at the 35. Look at the box, Steven. Unreal. 10 people in the box for Vegas as Tyree is looking around. Nobody's open until the last second. Excellent quarterback protection there as Craig Hearn nearly gets a first down.
Yeah, Cam, like that was a great play call for the defense that we saw. It just took forever to develop, and lucky for them, as you mentioned, the offensive line able to stand their ground and give Tyree all kinds of time to make that completion.
3rd down and inches at the 26, 9:22 to go in the first half. Tyree gonna throw again. Wide open, Anderson. Anderson running room, 20, 15, 10, inside the 5, just inside the 5. Tackle made by Atera, 1st and goal, Sioux Falls.
Well, this offensive coordinator here in Sioux Falls is starting to get hot here, Cam. Starting to recognize this defense. They used what's normally a formation to run the ball, and they bring their fullback out, and he's wide open in the flat. And this is a guy who has had a long, storied history here in Sioux Falls. Not surprised to see Anderson come up with a big play.
Here in the SFL broadcast studios for a 1st and goal from the 5 with 8:52 to go in the first half. It's 3-0 Sioux Falls in what has been a tremendous contest. Now a flip out to Hart. He's running out of room. Hart stayed in bounds and dragged Merrick Atera down to the 3-yard line. Impressive 2-yard pickup for Hart.
Looked like a screen pass that was just really slow to develop, and it felt like maybe Tyree threw it just a tick too early, but still, Hart still has that power, still has that force, nearly broke that tackle for a touchdown.
2nd and goal from the 3. Sioux Falls trying to get the first touchdown of the night. Now out to Hart. It's a foot race. Colin Hart is doubled up and won't get in. Excellent job by Boyka and company on the outside. Needed 2 to take him down, and that's what they got. 3rd and goal.
Well, this is what, this is exactly what that Sioux Falls wants to do here near the goal line. They want to use Hart as a receiver. This is a guy in their previous game, Cam, that scored 4 total touchdowns, 2 through the air.
I'd watch out for the screen again. They love doing that inside the 5-yard line. Tyree gonna throw. Tyree out to Hart. Miscommunication defensively and a touchdown, Sioux Falls.
And that's the same formula they had back in week 2, Cam. They like to attack when they get down into that 5-yard range close to the goal line. They like that little swing pass to their running back. And if you're Vegas, you got to learn from your past mistakes and put a spy, either your linebacker or a safety, on the running back during those times to stay with them.
It almost looked like Vegas had it covered, and then a defensive breakdown and miscommunication gave Colin Hart the touchdown. So Sioux Falls gets the first 6 of the night, and now they have the first 10 of the night. The extra point is good with 7:45 to go. And Stephen, we've got a lot of new faces out there tonight. Hope to be calling their name in the rookie draft. You're the owner of the Dallas Lobos, and what is draft night like for you?
Well, it's exciting. It's meaningful. It's fun. It's something to where the entire team looks forward to it. It just adds so much to our off season, which seems to be busier than our regular season at times.
And dragging defenders again. Jackson out of the 37. I think he's the best returner in the league. I don't think there's any question about that. AJ pick 6 with 1,000 bits. Katunica with 100 bits here recently. And ESPN NFL 2K5 just subscribed with a tier 1 sub. Love the support of 2K football. And with 7:40 to go, it's certainly given us a great one tonight.
Yeah, we always see something new in every game.
3 receivers for Rahman as the Fury are trying to get it going. Outside to Blades, and that picks up 6 yards. And it's kind of a shame that Vegas finds themselves down 10 because they really have not played too bad of a game tonight.
Well, my biggest surprise is the fact they haven't used the running back Redford more often. I mean, this is a guy who had his initial game in week 1 for Vegas. He ran for 311 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on 35 carries. And Vegas won that game 41-7 over San Francisco. We just haven't seen Redford at all tonight.
2nd and 4 for the 43. Handoff Redford. And Redford picked up a couple. I'd do it again, Steven. And Sioux Falls, they do possess the 3rd best run defense. And the last time Vegas played them, just 87 yards on 26 carries.
But this guy is a runaway locomotive when he gets going. You got to give him his opportunities in order to do that. He's a workhorse back that's got to work himself into a lather.
Under 7 to go in the first half, 3rd down and 2. They're going to give it back to him. Robert Redford cuts it outside, and Redford's got a first down on his best run of the night. Excellent vision from Robert Redford, the former Sioux Falls Sparrow.
And we're starting to see signs of that now. We're starting to, you give him the ball and allow him to wear this defense down. And it may not pay off for you in the first half, but as this game progresses, this defense is going to get tired, and Redford can be like a hammer on a nail.
1st and 10 at the 49, 6:25 to go in the first half. Rahman, 4-man pressure, deep ball from Thomas Rahman, tipped up in the air and incomplete by Nyberg. And twice, Rahman has tested that deep near side, and it does not bode well for the 3rd pick in the draft.
Rahman, the least amount of passing yards among 12-game starters here in the SFL. Only 2,229 passing yards in 12 games. So it's really interesting the fact they're relying on him here so early.
2nd and 10 from the 49, the Sparrow 49-yard line. Press coverage, back to pass. Rahman deep down the middle. Perfect pass, complete to the 26-yard line. John Blades gets free. Best ball of the night from Rahman.
Yeah, absolutely. I say that, and then he makes probably his best throw of the night, finding his top guy, Blades, who, through this season has 66 receptions for 814 yards and 5 touchdowns, 6'4", 225. Just a big target, but that's what we need more of from Rahman, more consistency. This is a guy that only completed 64% of his passes this season, and they need him big here in the playoffs.
We track your stats in the SFL every game, every season, your entire career, and Redford is going nowhere but backwards. Loss of 3 yards. Nick Fargo and company blows that up for Sioux Falls.
Yeah, if you're an SFL running back, you're almost expected to break that first tackle, but when you get met by 3 defenders in the backfield, I don't think there's anyone in the league who's going to be able to break that.
Got to give a shout out to some guys in our league and everyone out there that's dealing with the hurricane. Tonight, Shan Varner, owner of Chicago, he's down there in Alabama. Frank Gooden, owner of Tallahassee, he's in Jacksonville. And many, many other faithful there down in that southern corridor who actually rented a van and all drove together. That was a story in itself of what Mark Chisholm had to go through, the owner of Atlanta, trying to get to the convention. That was 3 wild days. 3rd down and 12 now for Vegas at the 28-yard line. They are in Rage's range, so no turnovers here. Rahman out of the shotgun. 4-man rush. Rahman, good pocket, fires, incomplete, and he got lucky as Dodd and Nyberg were in the area of Brett Funk, and it'll be a Matt Rage field goal attempt.
Yeah, I think it's just, Rahman eyeballing his target there. I think he had an open receiver to the far left that would have been a sure touchdown, but he just locked on to 16 and was just waiting for him to get open. And that time of waiting allowed the defender to come in and break on that ball.
Man, that hit Nyberg in the face. Have you ever had any balls hit you in the face? All right, now back to football.
I plead the 5th here on National Twitch front page.
You're going to hate me for that for the rest of your life. 45-yard field goal for Rage from the right hash. And Matt Rage, field goal is good from 44 yards away. Plenty of distance. Vegas is on the board, and it's back to just a touchdown deficit and difference as we pause for just a moment for words from the SFL.
Follow the SFL on Twitter @SimulationFL, on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels. You're already here, right? Might as well stay tuned. Get league updates on your phone while browsing the internet, and make sure you never miss a live broadcast. Thank you for supporting the SFL.
Not setting a good example for my community with the it was right there, Stephen. It was just right there.
It's all fun. It's all fun.
4:45 to go in the first half. Let's reset some things a little bit. Sioux Falls has a touchdown pass to Colin Hart from Julian Tyree. That's the difference, 10-3. Mark Lopez keeping track of the stats for us tonight. We've had 7 sacks in this ball game, and Tyree's already thrown 23 passes, and the handoff goes to Colin Hart. Look at Colin Hart dancing away, breaking a tackle. Max Jackson pulls him down. It's a first down for Sioux Falls. That's Hart's just 3rd carry of the ball game, and he's got 35 yards.
Yeah, I would expect to see more opportunities as long as Sioux Falls is in the lead. But here just kind of trips up on his own blockers, actually two of them, and able to have the agility to get out of that, still have the momentum to break a tackle and get those extra yards afterwards. So, this is something we've seen from Hart, this surprising rookie all season. Again, surprised by the fact they're not using him more, but they have been as a receiver, and they're really the game plan for both teams offensively is let's go through the air.
4:13 to go in the first half. Tyree out of the gun, going deep, down the field, wide open, Harrelson who breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Sioux Falls!
Well, Cam, that's a benefit of having, a decent running game to back up your passing game. That allowed, that made the defense, the secondary really come up on the offense and gives Harrelson an opportunity to use that 4-3 speed to get behind the defender, and then he just turns on the Jets, untouched to the end zone.
5,000 bits from AJ, pick 6 for that touchdown strike to Sean Harrelson, and Harrelson's in the chat. Jason1347, the owner of Sioux Falls, is in the chat, and the Kapows are alive here on the Twitch front page in front of 1,466 viewers. Got to get to 1,500. Got to beat Mike Daggs. I know it's not a competition. I know we're all the same league, but come on.
It is a competition.
Yeah, totally. Extra point is up and good for Sioux Falls, and it's 17-3 now for the Sparrows. So
Harrelson,
go ahead.
Oh, I just want to mention that was Harrelson's only his third touchdown of the season. So, what a time to come up with one and to give themselves a nice, comfortable cushion going into halftime.
So coverage of the SFL playoffs will continue on Sunday. Coverage starts at 5 o'clock here on Twitch. The Houston Hyenas host the Chicago Wildcats, who we saw on Monday. There goes Max Jackson, and Jackson again almost broke free out to the 41-yard line. 3 different times on a kickoff return, he's gotten it past the 35.
Max Jackson, you just have that feeling, Cam. It's playoff atmosphere. This guy comes up big when this team absolutely needs him to. How many times this season have we seen a spectacular kickoff return spark a comeback? Well, Jackson, you have the feeling he is going to break one tonight.
Katunika's up to 400 bits. He's prepping for that rookie draft. As bits, chat activity, and rookie check-ins once a week increase your draft value, along with the new rookie showcase, as that pass fit into a tight window but through the hands of John Blades. And Vegas needs to be very careful right now because this Liberty Park crowd is starting to come alive.
Yeah, Vegas is in a tough position now. You didn't have to start this game relying on your passing offense. It feels like in order to get back in it, you're going to have to rely on a pass offense that ranks 21st in the league. So you're asking them to do something they don't typically do.
3:56 to go in the first half. 2nd down and 10 from the 41, and Blades again back to pass. Now has to go to Redford on a check down. Redford gets lit up by Nick Fargo. What a brutal hit as you look at the updated quarterback numbers.
Well, Nick Fargo, 122 tackles, 21 tackles for loss on the season. This guy is a big boy, 6'3", 256 pounds, laying the wood right there.
11 yards on 8 carries for Robert Redford. Rahman's going to need to do something special here on 3rd down. That is not special. Just got it away before the sack, and Vegas will have to punt. Their defense needs to come up with a major stop here. They can't allow this game to get out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, look, at this point, you're going to need to scheme these receivers open. They're just, whatever they're doing right now, they're not able to create enough separation for Rahman to feel comfortable to deliver the ball. So, yeah, they're going to need some halftime adjustments to get back into this matchup.
Rahman is now 3 of 12 for 47 yards and a pick. He is struggling in his rookie postseason debut. This is a veteran bunch from Sioux Falls. It's Levy. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Clip that. Wow. That was disgusting from A.J. Levy.
You talked about experience, Cam. This is a Las Vegas team that doesn't have a veteran that's been there longer than 2 years. In fact, they've got 6 rookie starters on this team. So you're absolutely right. This is everyone's, for the most part, postseason debut, and we've seen the jitters early.
3:15 to go in the first half. Now to throw again is Tyree out to Hart. They're going to keep banging that drum as it picks up 3 yards to the far side out to the 30 with 3:05 to go in the first half.
And why not? At this point, they've got Las Vegas right where they want them. Sioux Falls is playing with house money. Why not go ahead and put some more points on the board, and maybe some of us can retire at halftime.
Kookaburra is a new face in the chat. Welcome to the SFL playoffs on the Twitch front page. 2nd down and 7 information is there in the chat. Our wonderful moderation team doing an excellent job as Tyree will fire it into coverage. Caught by Warren. 3rd and 3. Tyree is now 16 of 26. 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks and a half. That shockingly has been dominated by passing attacks.
Yeah, and Tyree, the 6-year veteran, you can see the confidence building in every throw, able to deliver a dot there right in between 2 defenders.
Nomad, keep moving. Also a new face in the chat tonight out to Hart. Hart going to break a tackle. Those are dangerous. Hart's going to pick up a first down with forward progress out of the 38-yard line. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. A tremendous first half of play. Sioux Falls trying to step on the throat. This is the SFL's presentation of Wild Card Wednesday on the Twitch front page, presented by APM Music. Tom Pepper QB asking for a shout out. Wish granted. Matthew Chanderson, wish granted. Thanks for being here tonight on the SFL Network on Twitch as Tyree will fire it outside to Anderson. Anderson's got some, Anderson's having a great game at the fullback position. And I tell you what, an adjustment I've seen, Stephen, out of Sioux Falls is that Tyree's getting that ball out of his hands quick. He's not letting that pressure get to him anymore.
Right, and these formations have been really compacted, Cam, and they look like run formations, and I think they're tricking Las Vegas a little bit by passing so much out of that formation.
2nd down and 3. 3 in the backfield. Hart over pursuit by Vegas. Got a first down on the other side at midfield. Now 1:25 to go, all 3 timeouts for the Sparrows.
Yeah, and look at that play. I think Hart could have actually had more yardage, a little bit patient, and waited for his blockers because he had a whole convoy of blockers in front of him. I think he could have got a lot more yardage. Probably just wanted to get it across the sticks.
Back to pass, Tyree. Look at that pocket. Beautiful. Anderson again. And Anderson picks up 5 out of the 45-yard line. And Ashley Anderson had a season for the ages before Colin Hart and Robert Redford kind of took over the Sparrows rushing attack. Still on this roster. 2nd down and 5. Tyree. Middle. Caught near field goal range by Hearn, and a timeout for the Sparrows at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, they ran a similar play on the previous play, and he opted to check it down once again. But, you know, as we've said, when Tyree has enough time and enough confidence, he can boom. You know, that's the very definition of the boom or bust. He can absolutely throw the rock with the best of them. And, you know, the more time that he has, the more confidence he gains. He can throw it. He can throw the rock like the best quarterback in the SFL.
Empty backfield for Tyree, who's caught fire in the 2nd quarter. Floats one over the middle. Oh, my goodness! What a catch! A one-handed grab by Hearn.
And what touch by the quarterback, known as an assertive downfield thrower. There, just a nice touch on the ball.
Tyree, middle again, caught down to the 10. Timeout, Sioux Falls. This has been the Sparrows' 2nd quarter.
You can feel it. I think everybody can feel it. You can feel that Tyree's just confidence is through the roof right now. They know they've got Vegas right where they want them. They are at home. They can feel this crowd. They can feel the momentum. They need to get in this end zone right now, as hot as they are.
Vegas out of the eye. Sniffing the end zone again. 3rd different time inside the 10 tonight. Both other times they got a touchdown. That's out to Hart. Got a block. Hart will not get out of bounds. Down to the 7-yard line. They're going to have to hurry. 15, 14, 13. Tyree rushing everybody back to the line. Vegas looking for a goal line stand here. 8 seconds to go. Tyree, it's not open, and the sack for Vegas shuts down the Sparrows, and they'll have to kick a field goal to end the half.
Yeah, big win here for Vegas, and their defense comes up big. And who else? Fats Johnson, 14.5 sacks on the season, comes up big at this right time. Cam, we can look back at this game, which is still in the first half, and see that as a pivotal moment to limit Sioux Falls to a field goal attempt.
So this will be from 29 yards out, and I'm telling you, Steven, I really can't believe Vegas is down 14 in this game. They've had some really promising moments, and obviously this defense is piling up the sacks. This is a bad snap. Good hold, not a lot of pressure, and the field goal is good with 1 second on the clock. Oh, no. Don't do that to Max Jackson now, 20-3.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. One worth watching here. That don't leave us just quite yet to go grab that snack or have that bathroom break. This one could be coming back. But Cam, again, Vegas, I think they came into this ball game. Sometimes you can outthink yourself, and I think they just knew that Sioux Falls' defense, especially against the rush, was so good. They thought they may be able to catch them through the air. So far, not good.
Jackson with 1 second left. He's been close to breaking one 3 different times, and Jackson runs into a wall of Black Bolt Sioux Falls uniforms, and that is the end of the first half. And what a first half for Sioux Falls, trying to win their second consecutive home playoff game after winning in the first round last season and conquering those demons against the Queen City Corsairs. Your 2K Sports halftime report right around the corner, and it starts now. And here are your first half numbers.
Yeah, for the Fury. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say, for the Fury, you got to dance with the guy who brought you, right? And that guy is Robert Redford. So far, 13 rushing yards. That's not going to get it done. And they have looked to use Rahman in this passing game more often. And I just think it's a failed attempt to trick the Sparrows defense, and it just hasn't worked. And obviously the Sparrows at home playing with all the momentum of their postseason experience, these guys have just come in here and I think really bowled over Las Vegas. And there's going to have to be some major halftime adjustments done for the Fury for them to get back into this game.
Sioux Falls has 6 different players who have more than 2 seasons of experience in the SFL. Vegas has none. This is a very young team. Obviously, a tremendous season, finishing 7-5, topping Mexico City in the final game. Remember, Steven, they came back. They were down, I believe, 10 at the half in that one. So Vegas, very familiar with being down at the break and coming back and doing big things, but that was at home.
Yeah, I know this is very different. This is a playoff atmosphere away in Liberty Park, which is traditionally, since Sioux Falls has been in the league since season 6, has been a very tough place to pull a win out of. And you combine that with the lack of experience and I think a faulty game plan, and we're going to have to see something special out of the Fury, maybe sparked by a defensive play. Max Jackson, I'm looking at you, to try and get back in this ballgame.
Julian Tyree, look at that catch. That was one of the best plays I've seen here in the last few weeks of the SFL. Beautiful ball. As we will begin the second half after a quick word from our sponsors. This is the SFL on the Twitch front page, presented by APM Music. We'll be right back. Simulation Football League on the Twitch front page is presented by APM Music, MediaTek Institute, Show Business Studios, Richards Printworks, Spygoat, ScoreStream, and Matt Doyle Designs. There's a look at the Hall of Fame class in attendance at the SFL convention and that championship banner sitting behind me now here at SFL HQ. A wonderful time in the Simulation Football League. Happy to have you along. If this is your 80th game or your first game or your 800th game, because we've had 800 of those, welcome into the broadcast. 1,487. We're 13 away from 1,500. Let's crack it. Max Jackson will get to start the second half with the football in his hands. Short kick from the 11-yard line. Jackson past the 25, makes a spin. Max Jackson got away. Kicker to beat. Jackson turns the corner. Max Jackson, 20, 15, 10, and Vegas has a touchdown. Here come the Fury.
His 5th kickoff return for a touchdown this season. When they needed a spark, it's been Max Jackson. No one player on this team has done more to get them into the postseason than Jackson, and it's because of plays like this. Amazing.
And we saw and actually it was your game, Steven, Dallas and Tallahassee. We saw a kickoff return for a touchdown swing momentum so significantly that you came back from 21 points and won a ball game. That was one of the most stunning upsets in SFL history.
Yeah, and then look, that's just a team that you can't count out. And look, this is a 7-5 team. Again, 4 of those losses came to former SFL champions, 2 to Alaska, 2 to Mexico City. So, you know, this team is better than what their standings show, and actually better than what we've seen from them so far tonight. But you just get now a glimpse of just how spontaneous this team can be and how quickly they can get back into a ball game.
Somebody go back and clip that touchdown. Now, also too, Steven, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm not sure that Vegas has actually won a game in any game that Max Jackson's had a kickoff return. It's the very this very unusual stat that is applied to Vegas this season, and they're hoping that is not the case, because that could have turned all the momentum in the Fury's direction. We'll wait and see as A.J. Levy returns up to the 23-yard line. All I know is it was pretty darn exciting for the 1495 that got to see it.
Well, if you're Sioux Falls and you're coming out of halftime feeling good about your 17-point lead, and suddenly you get slapped in the mouth with a kickoff return touchdown, how does this offense respond? Can the veterans on this team settle down and get the job done here on this first series?
First down and 10 at the 23 for Tyree out of the gun. Tyree going to throw. Look at Johnson! Fats Johnson got in there so fast I couldn't even get his name out right. And it's a loss of 7, and here come the Fury.
For all the inexperience that the Fury has on the offensive side of the ball, they've got 2 defenders with championship experience, in Mike Johnson being one of them, and Anthony Wyo, the free safety. So look for them to start to take control of this game defensively, because they've been here before, and watch these rookies and second-year players follow suit.
Fats Johnson with 3.5 sacks, now 8 sacks for Las Vegas in this game, and we're just getting rolling. Hand off to Hart. Hart's in trouble in the backfield, and Johnson is taking over this game. A loss of 2 yards. 3rd and very long coming up for the Sparrows.
Well, Fats is eating, Cam. Boy, we've seen these defensive linemen. They can get hot in spurts and absolutely take over a game. 3rd and 19 backed up with their own shadow of the goalpost behind them.
3rd and long for Tyree. Tyree, deep, drop back, wide open! Unbelievable! A.J. Warren on a blown coverage. Touchdown, Sioux Falls. Inexcusable.
Gutsy, Cam, and that's a killer. That's an absolute killer if you're Las Vegas, to allow that touchdown off of 3rd and 19, backed up so far. A.J. Warren somehow gets open in the middle of the field. Obviously, there's a miscommunication there. Stripes was the only man even close to defending that. And Warren can't believe it, holding that ball like a newborn baby as he walks into the end zone and extends this lead.
Rockabye Sparrow, 26-10, and that just wiped away Max Jackson's kickoff return for a touchdown on 3rd and 19. Oh, Vegas is going to rue the day. Oh, man, what a response from Tyree, who's having one of his better games of the season. And the extra point for Sioux Falls is good. It's now 27-10. We pause for the SFL to identify itself here on Twitch TV.
Join the world's fastest growing sim football community by jumping onto our Discord server. Use the Discord command in chat to keep up with schedules, news, notes, announcements, and polls. Jump off the sidelines and into the action here where we're loading legends at the SFL.
Jackson's got to be exhausted as he fights his best to the 30-yard line. And it's an interesting point, Stephen. I'm sure he was out there just because his defense got a couple of good stops, but I'm not sure if Jackson was fatigued from that touchdown there on Sioux Falls' touchdown pass.
Yeah, didn't sit long on the sidelines and then had to come out and play defense on and give up a touchdown there. So, yeah, still looks like the normal Jackson to me, though, but certainly fatigue an issue.
1st and 10 at the 30. Hand off to Robert Redford, and they try Redford on their first offensive play of the half. Picks up 2. I'm with you, Steven. I'd like to see what Redford can do. Extend this game, and don't put Sioux Falls offense back on the field because they got your number right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's, I don't think you have to panic so much right now where Redford is totally out of the game plan as a rusher, but we're getting close to the point where Sioux Falls is Vegas going to have to do something offensively here.
2nd down and 8 at the 32-yard line. Rahman throws in one-on-one coverage. It's picked off. He threw it right to him. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Down the sideline. It's a pick 6. Touchdown for Andrew Nyberg.
Unbelievable. Nyberg's 6th interception on the season, and it goes for a pick 6. This is just a terrible read by the cornerback, Rahman. He was double, his receiver he went to was double covered, one in front, one behind. This ball was not going to get through, didn't have enough oomph on the ball. And boy, Nyberg, what a return. Great pivotal block right there by number 99 to break the cornerback with so much speed to get in the end zone.
We see Sioux Falls. We've seen it a few times this year. We saw it last week against Vancouver. Sparrows scored just 10 points, lost 19-10, had a chance to not even be in this game and be in the automatic qualifying quarterfinal round and failed to do so. They end up getting a home game in the end, just barely, based off of that Week 2 victory over Las Vegas. And Sioux Falls looks completely dynamic tonight.
Yeah, and it's kind of unbelievable, Cam. These are, two teams that met in Week 2, and it was 3-0 at halftime, and then all of a sudden Sioux Falls took over in the second half and looked like they can't be stopped here. It seems like Sparrows cracked the code on Las Vegas, despite the fact this is an entirely different Vegas team that they're facing, who really started to figure things out. They're in the playoffs for a reason. They've been pretty dominant at 7-5, and boy, this is just not the same team we saw at the end of the regular season.
Jackson out to the 33-yard line. Welcome you back into the SFL broadcast studios here. Cameron Irvine, Stephen Mullinex, Mark Lopez is our live statistician of the night. And for Julian Tyree tonight, 24 of 34, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. It really is one of the best games I've seen Tyree play. As Rahman will drop back to pass, check it down to Blades, picks up 5. Vegas needs more of that, getting out of these 2nd and 3rd and long situations.
Man, this bodes well for the Sparrows. Let me remind everyone that, Sioux Falls, despite the fact they've been a perennial playoff team, they won their first postseason game just last season, often facing a tough Queen City squad to get bounced out of the playoffs here against a new team in Vegas. This is building their confidence for possibly their next playoff game.
Now, this is a tough position to be in, down 24 on the road, and it is all just sort of falling apart as, Rahman gets sacked way back, a loss of 5 yards. That's the 3rd sack for Sioux Falls, and we're only 3 minutes into the third quarter, Steven, and this was 20 to, what was it? 20. It wasn't 20 to 3, was it at the half? Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah,
but
21 points total, 3 minutes.
First 3 minutes, Rahman pump fake. He's got to get rid of it. Rahman, his own player, Robert Redford, hits the arm of Rahman, and he throws a pick. Another turnover, this one by Jay Ringgold. Unbelievable.
It's all going downhill for Vegas. I mean, they can't catch a break right now. That ball is delivered maybe slightly higher, but again, as you said, his own player hits his arm as the quarterback is throwing, causing that duck, quack, quack, to go out of his hands, and an easy interception there by Ringgold. He's been one of the best playmaking ball hawks in the SFL this season.
I'm not sure if that was Redford or if it was an offensive lineman that hit Rahman's. Boy, look at Johnson. Mike Johnson's probably on the sideline going, is anybody else going to play ball tonight?
Right. Yeah, he, again, a former championship game attendee. He knows what it takes to get to the Mecca. And this guy is showing you, outside of maybe Max Jackson, the only one that's really stepped up his game.
I am stunned at the blowouts we've seen tonight. We're going to get to the first game in just a moment. Tyree, deep ball down the field. He's got a man beat. 30, 25, 20. Breaks a tackle. Sean Harrelson's going to score. Touchdown. Sioux Falls. That's 3 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes. This is unbelievable.
And Harrelson's second touchdown on the night. Remember, he only had 2 touchdowns coming into this game. It is a total breakdown for Vegas. Outside of Big Fats Johnson, everything else is falling apart. And, boy, just any Vegas fans, they are watching in horror. And for the Sparrow fans here in the stadium, it's just been a hopefully the start of something really good for them here in the postseason.
I don't think Sioux Falls has scored 40 points in the last few games combined. This is just absolutely stunning. And Vegas, it appeared that they, at the beginning of the game, were trying to impose a very aggressive defense, and Colin Hart's only got 6 carries. They haven't needed him. Sean Harrelson now 142 yards and 2 scores on just 3 receptions. And this one almost uglier than the first. 44-7, Queen City beat Carolina. And Steven, we've been calling playoff games for a long time. This is the 11th season of the SFL. I don't think I've ever seen back-to-back playoff games like this. This is remarkable.
Yeah, and I don't think we expected this out of the Sparrows offense. This is a passing offense, ranks 14th in the league. They rank 16th in scoring offense, only averaging 21 points a game. We're at 41, and we're barely into the third quarter. And to go back to your point, Cam, this season so far, through 12 games, they only scored 40 or more points once. And that was back in Week 9, an away game against San Francisco, 42-39. So that was even a close game. This is not even close. And, look, this is what you need if you're going to be an SFL champion. You need to get hot at the right times. Surely teams like Queen City are evidence of that. They seem to get hot at the right time. Sioux Falls burning fire right now.
Well, now you got to throw. There's no more Robert Redford left as Rahman's pass is nearly picked off. What is man? I tell you what, the spotlight has got this rookie now. 4 of 16. 4 of 16, Steven.
Well, he hasn't had much help. And let's remember, this is a guy that was the 3rd overall pick in the draft. So you've got to expect better days are ahead for Thomas Rahman. But tonight, again, it hasn't just been him. He's getting pressured. They haven't been using Robert Redford enough, and his wide receivers have struggled to get separation.
64 total yards for Vegas as Redford picks up 2 to set up a more manageable 3rd down and 8. What an absolute dominant. 421 yards to 66, Stephen. It is just crazy. And 1.5 quarters into this game, it was a 1-possession game.
And let's give this Sparrows defense a lot of credit. Came into this game the 7th best total defense, allowing only 20 points a game. They're on pace for that.
Rahman hits Blades. Blades breaks a tackle, and Blades down to the 14-yard line. Finally, some signs of life from Las Vegas's offense.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed that desperately, Cam. We're still here midway through the third quarter. not impossible to think they can somehow get themselves back into this game, but they're going to need more plays like this, and they're going to need to be able to cash this into the end zone, as this probably has been their best opportunity to do so tonight.
Well, we saw a 24-point comeback earlier this season. No one in 800-plus games had ever come back from 24 points. It actually happened to Vegas. Why can't Vegas turn the tables? And hey, if we didn't think 24 was possible, maybe 31's possible as Robert Redford picks up 4 yards. That's his best carry of the night, or one of his best carries, down to the 10-yard line. They got to go quick.
And that game you're referring to was against the undefeated Alaska Storm, who are the former champions. So that's why we expected to see a different Las Vegas team than we did back in week 2, because they have really stepped up to the challenge and played well. Not indicative of what they're doing tonight.
2nd down and 6 from the 10. 5:38 to go in the third. Another handoff to Redford. Only picks up 1. And it brings up 3rd down and 5 to the 9. I'm surprised they handed off again after Rahman just connected deep with Blades.
Yeah, maybe they're just realizing that's what they should have done from the beginning, is run more Redford to allow that to open up some things in the passing game. You know, it helped. Blades had a big gain here. Maybe they're just using that same philosophy.
5:13 to go in the third. Vegas needs points. Any points they can get. Rahman, good protection. In zone, incomplete. Blades well covered. Jay Ringgold with the coverage, and that'll bring on a Matt Rage field goal. They got to get a field goal sometime, so might as well do it now.
Well, this is his quarterback just trusting his 6'4", 225 quarterback on receiver to get that 50-50 ball. And, Blades had an opportunity. He was in front of the defender, got his hands on it, just couldn't bring it in.
So, field goal attempt for Rage. It'll make it a 4-touchdown game. Vegas gets some sort of momentum brewing, but an excellent play by Ringgold in the end zone. We already have 3 quarterfinal matchups set. We'll get to that here in just a moment. 26-yard field goal for Rage is good. It's 41-13 here in the third quarter. So the playoffs resume Sunday at 5 o'clock with Chicago traveling to Houston. That's also on Twitch TV. At 7 o'clock later that evening, Stephen, you and I are on the call between Baltimore and Mexico City in what should be a tremendous rematch. Then Monday night at 6:30, it'll be Damon Simeon and T-Roy Gaines on their first playoff call, as there's a penalty here. That'll likely bring the Sparrows back. They will call the Queen City Corsairs, who just won 44-7 earlier tonight against the Tallahassee Pride. They had a crazy shootout in the preseason. They did not meet in the regular season. And then the winner of this game will face Alaska. Sioux Falls very familiar with the Storm. That's who eliminated the Sparrows in last season's playoffs, and Sioux Falls got swept by them earlier this year.
Yeah, it's a tall task, for Sioux Falls, but surely based off this game, if it holds, their momentum is to be at an all-time high to try and defeat the giant that is the undefeated Alaska Storm.
1st and 10 with 5 minutes to go, backed up inside their own 20-yard line. Las Vegas in desperate need of a stop. Outside to Hart on a little flip pass, got a block, and Hart got 9 yards. That's the best he's done on that scoop pass out into the flats. And look at Tyree, man, 381, 4-0.
Yeah, likely. I think it's his best performance of the season coming in the playoffs. Nearly 400 passing yards. And if this continues to go the way that it is, he might increase that even more. So, a legendary performance for him. And it's amazing to think back in that first quarter, and both quarterbacks looked really shaky. And suddenly Tyree has come out to be this league MVP type performance.
4:40 to go in the third. 2nd down and 1. Tyree's in trouble. Sacked again. 3rd and 7. And boy, where would Sioux Falls be tonight if they weren't trying to execute the swing? They probably have 50 right now. Vegas has really done a nice job with that.
Yeah, and I think, a critical change in the philosophy came early for Sioux Falls when they started throwing out of that run formation, Cam, and that really seemed to spark everything with that big Anderson swing out run. And from there on, it seems this offense has been on fire.
3rd and 7, Tyree, and that's just a drop. That should have been a first down. Sean Harrelson's first poor play of the night, and Vegas is going to get the ball back here. It's a 4-touchdown game. We'll see if the Fury can get in the end zone offensively for the first time tonight, as Sioux Falls rarely punts here. Max Mulholt back to boot it away. Hello from the Cam and SFL studios. Behind me, you can see the list of championship winners. And you don't see Sioux Falls, you don't see Vegas, neither team with a championship win yet in the SFL, but hoping that this year is the year. That punt is blocked, and Vegas picks it up at the 4. Oh, my!
Oh, my goodness, Cam. That's, talk about a rarity in this league. We don't see many of those block punts to happen here for Vegas, who desperately needs a spark. Just amazing. Could this turn things around for them?
And I don't know who blocked that, but was that I think it was Mericatera, who's playing special teams for the first time tonight with the block punt. Now the handoff to Robert Redford. He will score! Touchdown Las Vegas. We get a ball game again.
Woo-hoo. Don't turn the channel yet, folks. Something's brewing here, boy. Talk about the return by Max Jackson. Now the block punt. And this is what Redford has done all season. A power back meets force with force. This is something this guy can do. We haven't seen him do it tonight. But, boy, now the momentum slightly starting to shift here. We need another Vegas defensive stop, but then we can start having that comeback conversation, Cam.
What a crazy third quarter, Steven. This is unreal. In front of 1390 on the Twitch front page. The extra point is good. We're going to be hard-pressed to meet our 10:30 deadline at this rate.
Yeah.
What a third quarter, a wild third quarter. It was 3-20 at the half. We've seen 38 points in the last 7 minutes.
Wow.
And, hey, and shout out to Xanthos, too. Matt Wilson, who will be calling us on Sunday night football, and who just called the first game of our doubleheader 10,000 bits. Amazing. He is now the top of the leaderboard, and we appreciate your support, Matt Wilson, the Hall of Famer, as Levy gets a helmet to the stomach. And right now it's gut check time for the Vegas defense. 1st and 10 at the 24.
And for Sioux Falls, you really just want to avoid making mistakes. Let's see a good and healthy portion of Colin Hart. And I know it's only the third quarter, but you got to start thinking about using up that clock, honestly, and just removing opportunities for Vegas to get back into this game.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line, and they're going to try Hart again, and rushing out to get him. Oh, Hart! Oh, vicious stiff arm! Get out of his way! 1st down to the 43.
Well, that's how much, Cam, you called it. Even before you threw the ball, you said Colin Hart. And you just knew where the play was going, and this is why. This is what this kid is capable of doing. You know, as both a rusher and a receiver, a bit of a powerhouse. There you see the nice stiff arm to get the first down and much more.
1st down to the 43-yard line with 3:43 to go in the third quarter, 41-20. Sioux Falls trying to hold off what would be an absolutely insane comeback from Las Vegas. Sack again for the Fury in the backfield. A loss of 5. Johnson was there. Don't know if they're going to give him a half or a full on that one, but he's up either way to 5 sacks tonight. And I just want to say to everybody in the chat room, we have a brilliant community. We hope that you join our Discord community. You join our Discord community, you get to be in the rookie draft. There's bits and rookie check-ins and chat rankings and all sorts of stuff that can raise your draft value. And then me, that's right, your humble SFL commissioner, will be calling out your name on draft night. And we just want to see you on the field. We have a ton of players on the field tonight in the chat room. Who's on the field tonight in the chat room? Love to give you a shout out. 3rd down and 6 at the 47-yard line for Sioux Falls. This is a huge 3rd down, critical 3rd down for Vegas's defense. Tyree out of the gun to throw. Tyree looking wide open. Great route from Terrain James. His first catch of the night to the 37, and Tyree's got 425.
Yeah, I think a bad defensive play call there by the Fury. They actually dropped their defensive lineman back in coverage and then blitzed their linebackers and it just took too long to get any pressure on Tyree. That allowed this medium out route here for the receiver to get wide open and gain that separation in the zone.
So who's on the field tonight? Pilgrim's on the field. Everybody's who's not even on the field is saying they're on the field. They don't even know when they're on the field. You cheaters. Colin Hart picks up just one. Tackle made by Irvine, who's had a busy night on the outside. And now I don't know who's who. Way to go, guys. Sonic 0002. I know he's on the field tonight.
Well, I think your point is, Cam, that a lot of these players that are on the field are represented by real people. And people that love football, love this game, love what we've created here in the SFL. As we get yet another sack on Tyree.
Oh, my goodness. Johnson's going for the playoff record.
Going for that's crazy. In a season where we had a guy that almost recorded 40 sacks in the season, in Alex Dominguez, and Johnson, boy, is bringing an all-time game from him tonight. But as you mentioned, these are real guys. These are guys that have jobs just like you guys, go to school like you guys, and are part of this league. As that completion is nice there for the first down. Get the Sparrows. Boy, something the Vegas didn't want to have. Harrelson again on the catch.
Sean Harrelson catches that one after his last target was a drop. Boy, that was into a crowd. And I'm with you. I think this is Julian Tyree. This may not even be his best game of the season. This may be Julian Tyree's best game of his career, and it's been a storied career. And remember, Julian Tyree at one point had 10 incompletions in the second quarter. He's only thrown one incompletion since, 30 of 41 for 441 yards now as the handoff goes to Hart. Hart running left, one man to beat. Hart dragged down by Wyo at the 13-yard line. Vegas needs a turnover now.
Yeah, absolutely. The Sparrows, they're just clicking on all cylinders again, and you're going to have to get in there as the Vegas defense and put a monkey wrench into what has become really a engine of an offense that's just, again, fully fueled and ready to go.
You're watching Las Vegas and Sioux Falls Wild Card Wednesday, presented by APM Music here on the Twitch front page, as Julian Tyree will fire. Oh boy, that was close. Looking for A.J. Warren, and Vegas has a few more plays left to get that turnover, but they cannot let up points here.
Well, when you're as red hot as Tyree, even your mistakes don't cost you. That was on first down. It's an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, and you just move on because everything is going your way right now.
4 receivers. Warren at the bottom of the screen. 12 seconds left in the third. Las Vegas. This is the time for them. And into the end zone. It's picked off! It's picked off by Anthony Wyo. They got their turnover, and here come the Fury.
We talked about these veterans on the Fury defense. Wyo, been to the championship game with Tallahassee last year. 8 interceptions on the season, records his 9th. And I have no clue what Tyree was looking for. I think he was looking at Harrelson, who was in the corner of the end zone, looking for him to cut back into the middle, and just misread his receiver. That's been rare for him tonight.
First down and 10 at the 20. 6 seconds to go in the quarter. They're going to hand it off to Redford. Redford discards the defender, picks up 4, and that ends the third quarter of play. We're going to keep it right here. Put your 4s up in the chat. 41-20. Vegas down 3 touchdowns, but they're looking for some front page magic in the fourth quarter next on the SFL Network, presented by APM Music. Fours all around. 2nd and 6 with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. What kind of magic does Las Vegas have to provide us here tonight, as Raman's pass is intercepted at the 42? The answer may not be much. Ringgold again with the interception. What a play.
It's been those corner routes, Cam, and you can see the pressure that Raman is under, and he's just not making very good decisions right now. And again, double covered, trying to go to his top man, Blades, someone who has cashed in for him deep before. But the Sparrows defense ready for the challenge, and boy, they have just looked good on both sides of the ball tonight.
Colin Hart, 6 carries. Unbelievable. As Vegas, that's a real deflator for Las Vegas. Tyree trying to take advantage. He's going to be sacked again. That's the 13th sack, Stephen, for Vegas. That's got to be some kind of record. I don't think I've ever seen 13 sacks in 800-something SFL games.
Well, Vegas was lucky to get that sack because I saw a man wide open down the field, and Tyree was getting enough juice together to get it downfield. That would have been a touchdown. So just a good play by the defensive line to get him down in time.
2nd and 16 at the 48. Back to pass Tyree. Tyree fires. Shoot! Oh, man! It was almost taken back the other way. What a golden opportunity for a pick six pass intended for Warren.
Well, this defense has come to play here in the fourth quarter, able to get the interception on the previous play in the end zone, Cam. So this defense has not given up.
3rd down and 16 at the 48. Vegas showing a lot of fight. They cannot give up another long pass. Gave up a touchdown on 3rd and 19 in the 3rd quarter. Tyree out of the gun. 4-man rush. Tyree got it out of his hands quick. And you see what Vegas did there. That pressure caused Tyree to have to throw it short. And that is short of field goal range. And Vegas survives and gets the ball back despite the last pick.
Yeah, the defense doing everything they can to give their offense an opportunity to get in this ball game. But Thomas Rahman has got to bring out a better game and a better performance than he's had so far. He's going to have to make better decisions, earn that 3rd overall pick in the draft, young man.
So as Sioux Falls punts, what type of community do we have here in the SFL? You might see behind me is this is a really good punt down at the 3-yard line. But what type of community do we have? Well, at the SFL convention, the Chicago Wildcats all signed this autographed ball. Here, it's gotta turn it here. Hopefully we don't get too much glare, but just absolutely beautiful. Tremendous gift for SFL headquarters, and that's just the type of guys we got around here. Really outstanding. Just wanted to give Chicago a shout out there. I'm not sure if I've ever shown that ball on a broadcast. As with 9.5 to go, Vegas trying to dig themselves out of their own end zone.
Yeah, and I think, one of the amazing things is as far as our merchandise. Well, first of all, even for a simulation league to have the kind of quality merchandise that we have is amazing. And it tells you how committed and how real we feel this community and game is and what it means to us.
Redford. Oh, vicious stiff arm. Redford again, 15-20, and Redford tackled to the 21-yard line by Ringgold. That was dangerous. He just ran out of room.
Well, we're starting to see that fight. The fight that we saw out of the defense, out of Fats Johnson, out of Max Jackson. We're seeing now that fight out of Redford, who is certainly underutilized in this game. But Cam, the power to stiff arm twice in the row, and then I was so impressed by the speed and the burst that he had after that second stiff arm. It's only 8 minutes left in this game, but I'd say Redford's the hot guy to go to.
Rahman looking around, dumps it short to Funk. That's not going to do anything. Just a 2-yard gain. Fargo on the tackle for Sioux Falls. Vegas is going to have to turn it into high gear here. They're running out of time.
Thinking back about this performance by Julian Tyree, Cam, it's that old school gunslinger, the shades of Rocco Marconi and Skeletor P. Funk, Mike Dazzo, those kind of performances. Tyree's right up there on that level here in SFL history.
3 receivers, 2 to the left side. This is Rahman out of the shotgun. Sioux Falls rushes 4. Rahman pump fake. Nobody really open, and on a cross. Oh, man, that was almost picked off on a bouncing pinball. A.J. Levy almost got his hands on that as Vegas was just thrown into a crowd there.
Yeah, Levy almost got his second pick of the night, but you can't blame Rahman. You're going to need to take some chances now. You gotta lay it all on the line. This is your season here in the next 8 minutes. You got to do everything you can to get back in this game.
Mark Lopez on stats. Stephen Mullinex. I am Cameron Irvine here on the call with you. Wildcard Wednesday. Rahman going deep. That pass incomplete. They have been so good defensively deep. Nyberg, who's got a pick 6, makes another great play, and that may put a pin in it for Vegas unless their defense can come up with another unbelievable stop.
Yeah, the communication and the chemistry between the quarterback and the receiver has not always been there tonight. And that's what we saw all season. That's why we've been so surprised to see them pass as much as they did early in this game. We'd expect them to rely on their running game, as it ranks 5th most in the SFL, but just didn't see that tonight.
So punt is away from McRack, and from the 40-yard line, Levy makes a move and gets up to the 44. So 7:52 left. 3-possession game. Chat shoutouts: Tom Rahman 11, Sean Harrelson 11, coincidentally. Oofish 87, Vancouver Legion, The Dead Knight 57, Storm Baca, Super Senses, Normad Keep Moving, and many others, and some bright new faces in that chat room. Can't wait to begin discussions with you on Discord. 1st and 10 at the 44. Deep ball, and Max Jackson Lake getting there, breaking a tackle, put a pin in it. Riley with the touchdown. Riley Porter scores.
And Cam, this is all about Tyree. Tyree recognizes that Riley is open on the fade route. He actually stops his drop back and delivers the ball midway in his drop back on his back foot. And then it's all about the wide receiver after that, as he breaks a tackle and he just sends this crowd into jubilee.
And to your point, Stephen, if he would have kept dropping back, that's probably a pick for Max Jackson, because he was coming. He saw him, and Tyree's just awareness to get that ball away before the defender could get there. Absolutely outstanding. Julian Tyree having a night for the ages. We see performances like this on the Twitch front page, and it just makes you feel so happy for these guys. 32 of 46, 507 yards, 5 touchdowns, and just that one really awkward interception that was just the lone blemish on Julian Tyree tonight. And he has been the X factor, Stephen. He is the difference maker in a game that we felt like was going to be really competitive heading into the night.
Boy, if I'm Julian Tyree tonight, boy, I'm celebrating. And remember, for the guys that are new here in the chat, this could be you. I mean, you could be celebrating your big playoff moment and being celebrated here like in our commentary and in the chat. All you got to do is join our league, get in the draft, get yourself on one of these great 21 SFL teams, be a part of the community, and this is something that you can celebrate as a team together. I can't tell you how much I've really enjoyed the experience of actually playing with real users who celebrate a team win like this together.
So 7:40 left in the 4th. Vegas is now reeling as that pass is complete to Blades. And, you know, you thought you were going to get a little magic there. 41-20, get a defensive stop. Max Mulholt pins him deep, and Vegas ends up throwing the pick on the next series. And it was that close, Stephen. It was that close. That second quarter, Sioux Falls caught fire.
Right, you know, and have made Sioux Falls has really made the big plays to match anything Vegas has brought.
7:06 to go in the 4th quarter. Vegas's aggressive defense got burned tonight. That pass caught by Blades picks up 3 yards, and that keeps the clock rolling. Jay Ringgold on that tackle. The corners tonight for Sioux Falls, shutting down that deep outside throw for Vegas. They've been impressive.
Yeah, they absolutely have, and you know, part of the reason I think they're taking advantage of a rookie quarterback here who's not seeing everything clearly. Certainly doesn't have a clean pocket all the time.
Redford takes the handoff, just trying to get him some carries. That's actually his 17th carry of the night for 46 yards. Colin Hart still has just 6 carries, despite the lead. Sioux Falls just playing to their strengths tonight. By the way, Sean Harrelson now 155 yards and 2 touchdowns on 4 receptions. A.J. Warren 108 yards and a touchdown on 4 receptions. And Riley Porter, that was his first catch of the night, and that went for 56 yards. Just bombing them tonight for Tyree. Rahman now has an open receiver, John Blades. Blades 5, touchdown. Could it be, Stephen? Unbelievable, man. Both these teams tonight in the second half.
Well, I was about to mention the fact if I was Las Vegas, I'd be going 4 wide, 5 wide, send out the water boy. But just put all the receivers you can, tight ends on the line, and let's just throw this thing downfield and right on cue. Rahman's able to find his main guy, Blades, who you could argue he looks towards a little bit too much, especially tonight, but it pays off on a big touchdown. Too little, too late, likely.
So with 6:03 to go, Vegas does it again. It's still a 21-point game. I would say it's too early to onside kick, but I mean, this has been one of the craziest halves of playoff football I have seen maybe ever. Vegas has scored 24 points in the second half. Sioux Falls has scored 28 points in the second half. I mean, just nuts. And Vegas is going to kick it deep. There's still 6 minutes left.
Well, 21 points in a 3-minute span to start the third quarter. That's I think, one of the most amazing things that we'll take away from this game. But yeah, it certainly didn't really unfold the way that we thought. But goodness gracious, could the Sparrows push this over to the 50 mark here? That's going to be quite the stat line for everybody involved.
5:59 left to play. Vegas is down by 3 scores. Need a turnover. They have, I tell you the one thing they have done, they've certainly extended this game. They've kept us guessing as to what's going to happen. If I'm Sioux Falls, man, I'm run Hart. Let's get out of here. He's averaging almost 10 yards a carry tonight. And why play with fire? That's what they're going to do. Hand off Hart. Got nothing. Good tackle. Man, is that Johnson again? Boy, what a... no, actually, that's Irvine blowing up the backfield. Or maybe it was Johnson. I have just lost track.
Yeah, a little bit of a misdirection try there by Sioux Falls, sending the blockers up the field while they want to run Hart to the left. But I like Hart better when he has blockers in front of him, and they're just not able to get outside the grips of the defender.
5:30 to go. And Tyree out to Hart. Look at that defense getting out there and making the tackle just shy of the first down. Really nice play by Wolfgar Reinhardt. Third
yeah, it
one.
looked like a full body massage tackle as he had his hands up to his shoulder pads and had to drag them down to his shoelaces in order to bring him down. That just tells you how hard it is to bring down the 237-pound Hart.
It's a TSA tackle as Hart gets a first down. Tyree, instead of throwing it too early, wow, just another clever play by Julian Tyree tonight.
Golly, it was like that play was like molasses, slow to develop there, but effective. Got just enough yardage to get another first down. 518 yards and 5 touchdowns. Consider this, ladies and gentlemen. Rahman's only got 2,229 yards in 12 games.
Coverage of the SFL playoffs continues Sunday at 5 o'clock with Houston and Chicago. Come on, Simeon T. Roy Gaines on that call. Tyree sacked again. Sack number 14 tonight for the Las Vegas Fury, but the clock continues to roll with 4:10 left.
Yeah, and Scott, look at the leap that the big defensive tackle makes right there.
He wanted that one.
I mean, that was just really athletic for a guy that's 6'5", 292.
It's like me when I see ice cream. Just lay it all out there. 2nd and 16 at the 35-yard line. 3:53 and counting. Sioux Falls doing a good job of putting this one away, as now they're bleeding some clock. Las Vegas in their first season as an organization, as Hart will lose a couple more, so now 3rd down and 18. First season as an organization makes the playoffs. We see that happen pretty much every season, an expansion team getting into the postseason, and Vegas, who is led by Max Jackson, nearly turned around the San Francisco Sharks and brought them to the playoffs last year. Just sky's the limit for the Fury.
And you know they're going to make adjustments, I would expect, to this passing game and come back even harder next year. I think this is not indicative of who they are here at the end of the season. Again, I think it's just a bad game plan where they came in wanting to throw the ball instead of running the ball on the ground, which has been their bread and butter.
Hello, Tyree sacked again. That's 15, and that's 6 sacks for Fats Johnson. Unreal, and it does flip the field, but took a lot of time to do so. Look at that spin.
If there's a free agency priority for the Fury,
seriously,
you got to lock down Fats Johnson. If based on this performance alone, him and Wyo, these veterans, so key. And if you can keep those guys on your roster and grow your rookies and your second-year players around them, just imagine the kind of season Vegas can have next year.
Best game of the season for Julian Tyree. Best game of the season for Mike Fats Johnson. We had some superstars ball out tonight. 2:18 to go in the fourth quarter. This is Max Jackson on the punt return, and Jackson gets it out of the 40. What would have happened if he would have returned that for a touchdown?
Well, we've only had 2 punt returns for a touchdown in the SFL this season, so they are super rare, but certainly Jackson, one of those guys who's capable of it.
And they've happened in the last couple of weeks. Aaron Arrington, of course, being the one that we'll never forget.
Yes, the ghost.
If you're new to the SFL, you got to go watch the ghost game between New Orleans and Atlanta. That was unbelievable. All right, Thomas Rahman throws it to the sideline. That pass is caught by John Blades. Okay. All right. If Sioux Falls challenges, I'm throwing a flag on Jason McGee. that is just unnecessary.
Well, and it was ridiculous the fact that the Stripes called that a complete pass. The guy didn't even have 2 feet in bounds. On top of it, he had 1 foot out of bounds. I don't even think it was not even close. They're just going to give it to him.
2nd and 11 for the, 2nd and 6 with 2:11 to go. And, boy, Thomas Rahman took a shot to the gut. That was a vicious hit. That drops him for an 8-yard loss, and that brings us to the 2-minute warning. You are watching the SFL's playoffs Wild Card Wednesday, presented by APM Music on the Twitch front page. We've only got the front page for 3 more minutes, so just want to thank everybody out there. I think we peaked around somewhere in the 1500s tonight. Thanks for showing up tonight, and around 10 o'clock it seemed like everybody went to bed on the East Coast, lost a little bit, but had a fun game. As look at the official getting knocked over. Blades got out of bounds. First down to the Sparrow 41-yard line.
Yeah, and you know Vegas, it's just trying to save a little face here. It's your end of the season. You've had a good run. What a great initial season for your franchise. Certainly proved that you can win some major ball games in this game, and went toe-to-toe with the current champion in Alaska, and have really done some great things. So, although this is a disheartening loss here in the opening game of the playoffs for you, a lot of great things to go about.
Pass caught by Funk, but he's not out of bounds. Well, let me just express my enthusiasm for the SFL quarterfinals coming up. The 8 teams that will remain in the playoffs as Rahman zips it in there, but it's incomplete. I think a Sparrow may have gotten a hand on it, but the 8 teams now remaining in the playoffs, the Alaska Storm, who have a championship appearance and a championship. The Tallahassee Pride were in the championship game last year. The Baltimore Vultures, coached by 2-time champion Thomas Paternitti. The number 4 Houston Hyenas championship appearance. Number 5 Chicago championship appearance. Number 6 Mexico City. A couple of championship appearances and a victory under their belt. As Vegas will call a timeout, it is 4th and 1 now. They're going to have to go for that. The 7 seed, Queen City Corsairs, 4-time champion, and then Sioux Falls is really the loner. No championship appearances, no championships, but Sioux Falls, they want to conquer some demons against Alaska, no question. And if Julian Tyree plays like this, Sioux Falls has a great shot at a big upset.
Yeah, who would think that with 48 points on the board right now, Sioux Falls is actually the underdog going forward.
4th and 1. Rahman outside. Caught by Redford. First down. Redford got to get out of bounds. And Fargo keeps them inbounds. 1:22 to go. 1st and 10 at the 23.
Okay, I'm just amazed as you went through that list how many of these teams have championship experience. It just shows you how important it is in this league to get that kind of experience, the kind of experience Vegas is getting right now.
Funk's pass caught. The defender fell over. 1st and 10 at the 12, but Vegas is still chewing up a lot of time. 1:02 to go. 1 minute to go. And Rahman to throw. Rahman, short middle, caught at the 4-yard line. Still running no huddle.
Yeah, and you may say, wow, why didn't we see this earlier? This kind of hurry up offense. This is the second team defense out there. Boy, the nice pass deflection by the bench player.
Yeah, that pass knocked away by Carpenter. So Rahman now 3rd and 1 at the 3. 44 seconds left. Still 2 timeouts. Would need 3 touchdowns and 2 onside kicks to have any opportunity. So less than 1% chance, I would say, right now for Vegas. But hey, they certainly have not rolled over tonight. They've kept playing, and I think they got a lot of leadership from Johnson tonight, who kept them believing. Rahman's out of the shotgun, and Rahman fires outside, and Redford ran out of space. 4th and 3 coming up. Quarterback numbers.
Yeah, just it's going to be a hard game to swallow for the rookie quarterback, and he's going to have to go into the offseason, improve his game, and work with this coaching staff to see if they can improve their playbook and get this passing game going. It's dead last in the SFL coming into this game. They really focused on it in their playbook, and that's probably a mistake looking in hindsight.
Rahman to throw. Rahman's pass caught. Touchdown. Touchdown, Las Vegas. 38 seconds still left. And, it's very interesting, Stephen. Las Vegas in 2 different meetings with Alaska this season, which would have been their opponent in the second round. They had them. They definitely had them the second game when they blew that 24-point lead on the road. But Sioux Falls did not have them this year. They really struggled against Alaska. As a coach, when you've faced a team twice, you haven't looked good, and now you got to figure it all out in the playoffs. What is the mindset that you have to have if you're Sioux Falls?
Well, I think it's really about defense when it comes to Sioux Falls facing Alaska. They've allowed 37 points in both of their outings against them this season. So, a 37-3 loss to Alaska in Alaska in week 3, and then in week 10, losing at home to Alaska 37-21. So, tonight we've seen Sioux Falls produce plenty of offense. I think that's not going to be the issue as the onside kick is recovered there. The issue for the Sparrows is how do we stop one of the league's top offenses in the Storm. They haven't been able to do it in the regular season, and now they're going to have to pull it off in the playoffs.
One last hurrah for Vegas. They'll burn 2 timeouts, and then Sioux Falls will take a knee. Got a beautiful helmet right here. Look at the 4 teams, or the 4 nations represented on the back of that helmet, as we truly are an international product. 21 teams in 4 countries, and looking forward to further growth here as we prepare for another rookie draft and another playoff game come and gone. And Stephen, while this one had route ability, I'll say, very entertaining ball game, and Vegas certainly showed why they belong in the playoffs. But they made a tactical error here tonight, as they thought Sioux Falls was going to come out and give the ball to Hart, and that's just not what happened, as Tyree just killed them over the air.
Yeah, and it's hard to say anything bad about Vegas' defense. I mean, that defensive line was amazing tonight and really put the pressure on Tyree early. And then Julian, Tyree, the veteran quarterback, really lifted the entire offense on his shoulders and came out with a career performance. But that's what it took to beat Las Vegas tonight, which just tells you about the parity in our league. But, yeah, if we could go back and Vegas could go back, I think they would run Robert Redford like they did back in week 1, Cam, and run him 35 times and try to get 300 yards on the ground and make this really keep Tyree and this explosive offense tonight off the field as much as possible.
Easier said than done against the 3rd best rush defense in the SFL. Sioux Falls also the 10th best pass defense too, so not too shabby there. And that wraps it up from Sioux Falls. What a performance by Julian Tyree. I got to give it to him. Absolutely tremendous. As you take a look at the 2K Sports post-game report. There you have it. That's all Julian Tyree right there.
Yeah, as you mentioned, probably the greatest game in his 6-season career. This is a guy that during the regular season threw 8 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. And he has 5 touchdowns in a single game to open the playoffs. Just, uncharacteristic, but certainly I think a sign of good things to come for the Sparrows. Now they take this game and go into Alaska to face the undefeated Giant and see if they can, be the David to their Goliath and take down what's been an unstoppable freight train of wins for the Storm.
That'll be Monday night at 8:15 Central, 9:15 Eastern, Sioux Falls at Alaska, as the Sparrows try to do what seems like the impossible this season anyway, take down the Alaska Storm. There was an undefeated team in Season 10 in the regular season. That did not end in the championship, and that's happened a couple times. There you see, that was a real bad play. That actually was an offensive lineman who got hung up on the arm of Thomas Rahman. Rookies learn and veterans win for Sioux Falls. They take this one 48-34. Final thoughts, Stephen Molinex, for the hundreds of people that have stuck with us here throughout the night.
Well, I think we, despite kind of the lopsided score there at the end, I feel like we really got an entertaining ball game, and we saw what the potential is for the Fury and how the importance of experience in this league and having a guy like Mike Fats Johnson and Anthony Weil on defense, Max Jackson, and how they can really turn a game. And if they had gotten maybe a little bit more support from their rookies tonight, that it could have been a different score. But for the Sparrows, they look strong coming out here, getting their second ever postseason victory. And they go into Alaska with all kinds of momentum. And boy, the storylines really write themselves for this Sparrows team. And are they a team of destiny? I think certainly if they go into Alaska and pull out a win, you got to favorite them for the championship game. So a really great way to start the playoffs. But boy, we are just at the start of some terrific matchups to come.
Normac Keep Moving asked how many rookies are going to be drafted. As many active, dedicated rookies as we got. We can always expand rosters, and we can't wait to see you out on the field enjoying entertaining ball games like this, and the highlight reel just rolls on, almost on repeat with the amount of scoring we had in that second half. That was quite tremendous. Sioux Falls wins their a playoff game in back-to-back seasons after sort of having a first-round bugaboo, and that's now 3 out of 4 home teams in the wild card round have won the playoffs, or won in the playoffs since we instituted the wild card round. 33 of 47, 518 yards, 5 touchdowns, 133.1 quarterback rating for Julian Tyree. What an outstanding contest from the veteran, number 10, who's trying to maybe plant a Hall of Fame bug in the ear of the Hall of Fame voters. Las Vegas eliminated Sioux Falls to play Alaska Monday night. The SFL playoffs roll on Sunday at 5 o'clock. Chicago plays Houston. All SFL playoff games are here on Twitch. For Mark Lopez, brilliant job on stats. Thank you so much, buddy. And to all of our stats team, to all of our broadcast team, to all of our beat writing team on simulationfl.net, churning out brilliant content, social media squad out there getting the word out. It is an operation, let me tell you, and we're happy to enjoy it with all of you every single week here on the SFL Network on Twitch. For Mark Lopez, Stephen Molinex, I am Cameron Irvine. Just give it to him, Stephen. You know what to do.
Wave goodbye, Cam.